5 signs that a narcissist is anxious because he wants to make love. Have you ever noticed how some narcissists behave when they're in intimate relationships? You might be thinking about their grandiose personalities, their constant need for attention, and their sense of entitlement. But what happens when the conversation shifts to intimacy, specifically when they want to make love? It might seem surprising, but even narcissists, with their often self-absorbed behavior, can experience anxiety when it comes to sexual intimacy. In fact, their anxiety may manifest in ways that can be puzzling to the people they are with. In this video, we will discuss the 5 signs that a narcissist is anxious because he wants to make love. We'll explore how their need for admiration and control intertwines with their approach to intimacy, and how their behavior can be confusing or even manipulative. Understanding these signs is crucial for recognizing the hidden anxieties beneath the narcissistic exterior, and helps to clarify why their actions in intimate settings might not always align with what they say or project. But before we dive deeper into this fascinating topic, if you haven't already, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. We'll unpack the psychological behaviors that narcissists exhibit when they're anxious about intimacy. So stick with us till the end to get a full understanding of these complex dynamics. Let's get started. Narcissists and intimacy. A paradox of confidence and anxiety. When we think about narcissists, the first thing that often comes to mind is their overwhelming sense of self-confidence. They walk into rooms like they own them, and their arrogance often overshadows any self-doubt. But underneath this external bravado lies a complex world of internal anxiety, particularly when it comes to intimacy. You might think that narcissists, who often see themselves as superior to others, would be immune to the typical nervousness that comes with sexual desire. But, in fact, their anxiety in these situations is often linked to their deep-seated fear of inadequacy. Unlike someone with a healthy sense of self-esteem, a narcissist is constantly dependent on external validation. Their self-worth is fragile, even though they may project an image of invincibility. When it comes to intimacy, they are no longer in full control, and that's where their anxiety stems from. They may worry about how they are being perceived, if they are impressing their partner, or if they are truly good enough in the eyes of the person they are with. So, what does this anxiety look like in practical terms? How do you know when a narcissist is feeling anxious because he wants to make love? There are distinct signs, and once you understand them, you'll be able to recognize these behaviors more easily. These signs reveal just how insecure narcissists can be when they're craving intimacy, even as they try to hide it behind a facade of arrogance or nonchalance. The first sign: excessive focus on appearance and self-presentation. One of the first things you might notice when a narcissist is anxious about intimacy is their heightened obsession with their appearance. Narcissists are often preoccupied with how they look, especially when they feel the need to impress someone. When they want to make love, they may become hyper-aware of their physical appearance, obsessively checking themselves in mirrors, adjusting their clothing, or even asking their partner how they look. This behavior is more than just vanity. It's an indication of their fear of not being perceived as attractive or desirable enough. They may spend excessive time grooming, even beyond what is typical, ensuring that every detail about their appearance is flawless. This anxiety-driven need to look perfect comes from a fear of rejection or criticism. Narcissists believe that their worth is largely based on their outward appearance, and any imperfections could make them feel unworthy of affection or intimacy. When they're anxious about making love, this fear becomes magnified, and their focus shifts from the act itself to how they are being perceived by their partner. Their obsession with appearance might also extend to their partner. They may ask for constant reassurance about how attractive they are or compare themselves to others. This behavior is a coping mechanism, trying to reassure themselves that they are still the best and most desirable option. This need for affirmation can be exhausting for both the narcissist and the partner involved. The second sign, overconfidence that feels forced or overcompensating. While narcissists often exude an air of confidence, this is not always a true reflection of their inner state. In fact, when they are anxious, their overconfidence can feel forced or overcompensating. They may boast about their sexual prowess, talk about past conquests, or make exaggerated claims about their ability to satisfy their partner. This is often a defense mechanism meant to mask their insecurities. When a narcissist is anxious about intimacy, their bravado becomes a mask that covers up their fear of failure or inadequacy. They feel the need to project an image of sexual mastery, even if they are unsure of how the actual encounter will unfold. The more they talk about how amazing they are, the more you might notice their anxiety creeping through the cracks. Their words become more about convincing both themselves and you that they are exceptional in bed, rather than focusing on the connection or mutual pleasure. This behavior can be unsettling because it feels disconnected from the reality of the situation. It's not just about enjoying the moment, but about securing their status as the dominant, perfect lover. If their partner doesn't immediately respond with admiration or praise, this can cause a sharp spike in anxiety, leading to frustration or even withdrawal. The third sign, emotional manipulation before, during, or after intimacy. Narcissists often use emotional manipulation as a way to secure their own needs. When they're anxious about making love, their tactics might become more obvious. Before intimacy, they might try to manipulate the situation by planting seeds of doubt or making their partner feel guilty if they seem hesitant. They may use statements like, "If you really cared about me, you'd want this," or "You never show me how much you care," as a way to push their partner into a position where they feel obligated to engage in intimacy. During the act, narcissists may engage in manipulative behaviors, such as demanding constant praise or seeking validation for their performance. Their anxiety manifests in a need to be constantly reassured that they are desirable, skilled, or worthy of affection. They may not be fully present during the experience, focusing more on how they are perceived than on connecting emotionally with their partner. After intimacy, a narcissist's anxiety might lead them to seek immediate validation again. They might fish for compliments, asking, "Was I good for you?" or "Did you enjoy that?" This post-intimacy behavior is often a way to gauge their worth through their partner's response. If they don't receive the praise they expect, they may become frustrated or withdrawn, as their self-worth is dependent on this external feedback. The fourth sign, fear of rejection or criticism leading to defensive behavior. One of the hallmark traits of narcissists is their fear of rejection, and this is especially evident when they are anxious about intimacy. While they may act like they are in complete control of the situation, they are often extremely sensitive to any sign of rejection or criticism. If they feel that their partner is not fully engaged or appreciative during intimacy, they may react defensively. They might lash out, accuse their partner of being distant or disinterested, or even withdraw entirely to protect their fragile ego. This fear of rejection can lead to an emotional disconnect. Instead of focusing on the shared experience of intimacy, the narcissist is preoccupied with the possibility of not being accepted or adored. If they feel any kind of emotional distance from their partner, even if it's just a temporary lapse in attention, they can interpret it as rejection, which triggers anxiety. This defensive behavior is a direct result of their constant need for admiration and fear of losing it. The fifth sign: emotional distance and avoidance post-intimacy. After the act of making love, narcissists may exhibit emotional distance or avoidance, which can seem puzzling to their partners. Instead of cuddling or basking in the intimacy, a narcissist might pull away or become emotionally unavailable. This can be confusing because it's as if the connection they shared during the act has suddenly disappeared. The reason for this emotional withdrawal lies in their anxiety. Once the narcissist has received the validation they sought during intimacy, they may retreat to protect themselves from feeling vulnerable. They might avoid emotional closeness because it forces them to confront their own insecurities, or because they fear that their partner will stop validating them. This post-intimacy detachment can also be a tactic to regain control over the situation. By pulling away, they reassert their dominance, ensuring that they are still in charge of the emotional dynamic in the relationship. Narcissists' anxiety around intimacy is a complex issue rooted in their deep-seated fear of inadequacy and need for external validation. While they often appear self-assured, their behavior can be contradictory and driven by the constant need to maintain a sense of superiority. Understanding the signs that a narcissist is anxious because they want to make love can help people navigate these challenging dynamics with greater awareness. Thank you for watching and engaging with this content. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you found this video informative. Narcissism is a fascinating yet complex topic, and by discussing it openly, we can better understand the nuances of human behavior and relationships. Stay tuned for more insights into this psychological subject. 9 disturbing sexual behaviors of narcissists that you need to know about. Sexual relationships can be complex and multifaceted, but when you're dealing with a narcissist, the dynamics take on a whole different level of manipulation, control, and disregard for personal boundaries. Narcissists often appear charming, confident, and full of charisma, especially in the beginning of a relationship. But behind the scenes, their behavior can be harmful, unsettling, and deeply manipulative. In this video, we'll explore 9 disturbing sexual behaviors that are common in narcissistic individuals and how they can impact their partners. If you've ever wondered why someone you're dating or in a relationship with seems to prioritize their own needs, desires, and fantasies above yours, or even seems incapable of genuine emotional connection, it could be because they are narcissistic. The reality of being involved with a narcissist can be difficult to understand without first recognizing these disturbing behaviors. But what if you could spot these warning signs from the start? Imagine how much easier it would be to avoid being caught in a web of emotional manipulation, false intimacy, and self-centered sexual interactions. If you want to protect yourself and avoid being hurt in relationships with narcissists, stick around until the end. We'll discuss how you can recognize these toxic patterns and what you can do to protect your emotional and physical well-being. Before we dive deeper into these disturbing behaviors, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who may be navigating a difficult relationship. Understanding narcissistic behavior can be the key to finding healthier connections and avoiding toxic dynamics. Now, let's get started. Understanding narcissism and its impact on sexual behavior. Narcissism is more than just arrogance or self-centeredness. It is a personality disorder that leads individuals to prioritize their own needs and desires over those of others, often without any concern for the emotional or physical well-being of others. This disregard for others' feelings can translate into the most intimate areas of life, particularly in sexual relationships. For narcissists, sex is often about validation, control, and gratification. They might view sexual intimacy as a way to assert their power or to receive constant affirmation of their desirability and attractiveness. In contrast to healthy sexual relationships, where mutual respect, consent, and emotional connection are valued, narcissists tend to exploit their partners for their own selfish gain. It's not unusual for the narcissistic individual to disregard the needs, feelings, and autonomy of their partner, seeing them as an object or a tool to fulfill their desires. This self-centered approach to intimacy is both emotionally and physically harmful. Narcissists may manipulate, control, and emotionally harm their partners to maintain their sense of superiority. The emotional toll this takes on a partner is often profound, leaving them feeling confused, unworthy, or drained. Now let's look at 9 disturbing sexual behaviors